Gemini, the moon is currently in Gemini, so naturally I thought I'd switch things up right here on the Jules with Gem podcast. I am your host, GiGi. I'm continuing my Breaking Down the Signs Energy series, and I just have to say a disclaimer though, that the information I am sharing with you is just to explain the energies and that not everything is set in stone. I think of astrology as my cosmic parent or my cosmic guidance, and that you are able to work with the energies within your chart in order to achieve your current soul mission so that you can evolve into the next phase of life. As I always say, the only constant is change. I cannot stress the importance of knowing your birth chart as it acts as guidance for your soul's evolution, at least in my humble opinion and experience. Let's get down to it, shall we? I will start by taking a look at some familiar, well-known South African Geminis, and they are as follows: Sia Khaleesi, Brian Habana, Nikki Oppenheimer, the late musical genius Johnny Clegg, Connie Ferguson, Musi Maimane, and last but not least, Athol Fugard, the one we love to hate and hate to love, born between May 20th or May 21st up until the 20th of June. So I think it just depends actually which reference you'd want to take, but those are usually the dates, because I know it's different for... It's so, with astrology, you just have to take it with a grain of salt, because usually the dates change, but it won't be like a dramatic change. It will just be, maybe a day off or 2 days off, but it will never be something very dramatic. And they are, of course, under the sign Mutable Air. So out of all the signs, Gemini is represented by the twins. And for all the people that think that means that Geminis are two-faced, please think again. Okay, in the literal sense, they have two faces, yes. But that doesn't mean that they are two-faced. And I mean that by attaching it to the negative connotation that keeps on floating around out there. People have nothing better to say about Gemini energy besides the fact that they are liars, they are two-faced, they are cheaters. And I feel that I am about to debunk that, because I have a Gemini moon, so I would like people to understand what the energy is really, really like. So, having said that, Gemini energy is literally the epitome of duality. So it's like the yin and the yang in one, the male and the female in one, logic versus emotions in one, the ability to see both sides to everything, literally everything. And that's why Geminis, or people with dominant Gemini energy, may be perceived as indecisive. It's kind of how Virgo would analyze and dissect the information. Gemini collects and shares that information. So Gemini is literally a messenger, if you can put it that way. Some basic facts about Gemini: their polarity is positive, their quality is mutable, their element is air, the symbol is the twins, planetary ruler is Mercury, their opposite sign is Sagittarius, and parts of the body ruled by Gemini would be the hands, the lungs, and the shoulders. So first and foremost, Mercury, one of the fastest moving planets in our solar system, rules over Gemini, meaning that along with Virgo, they are extremely fast. So they're able to interpret new information just as fast as they have heard it. And probably by the time they have come to an understanding of the information, it's already old news and is kind of on to the next. Literally, these are the people that pick up on information at such a rapid pace. It's almost difficult and challenging and intriguing all at once for people around them, because they're not able to comprehend how Gemini is able to be so confusing and delightful at the same time. It's kind of like tasting something new where you're not really sure what the taste is, but you like the taste, and so you keep on eating or you keep on drinking said thing. It confuses you, but you still at it. So people around them are not able to comprehend their energy. They are the ones that need constant mental stimulation, and not just mental stimulation. I think a lot of people just say, Geminis, if you just give them constant mental stimulation. No, the information needs to be valuable, first of all. Like, if it's not valuable, then, it's not going to mean much to a Gemini, and then they're just going to move on and consider that information to be invaluable and buy, essentially. So they will get bored because of that, because they don't consider it valuable to them, But some Geminis, you'll find that they really do know a little bit about everything, even if the information is valuable or invaluable. But if the information is invaluable, they will not spend a lot of time investing in that information. It would kind of just be, I just want to know on the surface what, this is, or this particular subject is about, and then they will hop on to whatever they think is valuable and kind of move on to the next. And then once, after the information has been received and after it's been processed, that's when they need to share the information that they've just discovered. So this is actually so funny, because after they've gathered that information, that's when the information is now spread. That's why a lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, Gemini's kitty gossip girls, because gossip girls and gossip guys, because these people are constantly talking about people or things or whatever the case is. But understand that, all of us have these energies within us. In others it's more dominant, in some it's not as dominant. So we need to all, be respectful of others and the energies that they do exude, because at the end of the day, we also want to be understood. We all want to be understood. So it's not that they are gossipy, it's just that they want to talk about the information with other people and get different perspectives and get different opinions. They literally like the conversation starters. Literally, they are the conversation starters. They are the excellent social media strategists. Literally, they are the marketing gurus. They are, I could go on and on, but I just wanted to explain that, because honestly, it's sometimes grates my tits when I hear people say, oh no, they're just all about gossip. They don't know anything better but to just be yapping and chit-chatting about nothing and everything, when most of y'all are also there for the tea. Come on now, sis. Come on now, brother. Most of y'all are there for the tea anyway. So you guys appreciate Gemini energy. So anyway, moving along. So like I said, once the information has been received and processed, that's when now it needs to be shared and talked about and spread. And that just happens because they obviously need to get different perspectives and engage with other people. And I think this is also what keeps them open-minded, because the more people that they engage with, the more perspectives they get, the more their mind expands. Like how Sagittarius is on the opposite axis of Gemini. So every time they are open-minded, every time they're having discussions, every time they are communicating, that is when their mind becomes expanded. That is when they are delving into Sagittarian energy and, overlooking and getting literally a bird's eye view, because Sagittarius, comes after Scorpio. So it comes after, the darkness of Scorpio. I don't really want to call it the darkness, but yeah, dark night of the soul, and then rising from, the ashes into a beautiful phoenix into the sky, and then having an amazing bird's eye view. That is literally Sagittarian energy, and being able to understand everything and be non-judgmental, and also try and find a balance between all of that. So the more they talk to people, the more open-minded they are, the more intelligent they become, because they are aware of all the different perspectives. So don't be telling Geminis to stop talking, or don't be telling Geminis that they talk a lot, because this is literally how they become more intelligent, by listening to and engaging with other people. So please stop saying that they talk too much. Okay, this is also the part of them. They use their gifts. I think more than anyone, Gemini is one of those people that use their gifts to their advantage, and sometimes that can be manipulative, depending obviously on how evolved the Gemini is. Yeah, depending on how evolved they are. So I just have to say that, because obviously not everyone is the same. Not every Gemini is the same. Not every predominant Gemini person will be evolved. Some of them really are just not evolved. But being able to engage with people is an excellent quality to have, because they are naturally excellent communicators. But not only that, I also feel Gemini energy is almost like Aquarian energy because they constantly need to connect with those around them. So both of them, as in Gemini and Aquarian energy, can share information and also have amazing connection with those people around them, but still be able to be nonchalant or rather emotionally detached. And I don't really want to say emotionally detached like that, like I'm just throwing it around, because in reality, in the grand scheme of things, Geminis actually feel everything. That is why they are so jittery and so anxious, because they think of every single possibility. They literally get imprints from their social spaces every single time. That is why they can't focus on one thing at a time, because they are constantly picking up on, oh my gosh, who just walked in? Oh my gosh, that's a cool red dress. Oh my gosh, it's such a nice hairstyle. Oh my gosh, I wonder what he's drinking. Oh my gosh, they're reading such an amazing book. Why are they here alone? Oh my gosh, that hairstyle. Again, back to the hairstyle. And now I'm back to the conversation with my friend, and my friend has been talking for the past hour, and I haven't even gathered what she's trying to say because she's been talking for the past hour, and I've been roaming the social space for forever, and that's kind of how Gemini energy works. So it is fast. It is difficult for people around them to comprehend. They feel everything, and that's just what I really wanted to emphasize. They actually feel everything, and sometimes it's devastating because you can't deal with all of the energy. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. So, just remember whenever you do find yourself with Geminis around you, or, predominant Gemini energy around you, that these individuals rule communication. So they pick up on vibes, spoken and unspoken, seen and unseen. And like I said, it's just because of their mental activity that they are just not able to explain sometimes what these inputs are, because they're fleeting and at a rapid pace. It's like at the drop of a hat, feelings can change, they can have a different perspective, and now all of a sudden there's space that's made for new information to be created. And I hope that entire explanation has been understood. I also feel as though Geminis, I feel as though sometimes they don't really know how they feel until they've spoken to someone else, and then it clicks. Because it's like whatever explanation they would be getting from the person that they're speaking to, then they'd be like, oh yeah, that's actually how I felt. Oh my gosh. I've had moments where I've spoken to my friend, my mom, my cousin, and they would tell me, oh my gosh, so you actually do suffer from anxiety. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is that what anxiety is? Never had known that I was somebody that suffers from anxiety. I've always just been like, oh no, I don't suffer from anxiety. What do you mean? And then until somebody actually says, Gift, actually, I think you could be, yeah, you definitely do have some anxiety issues. Until I've spoken to somebody about it, that's the only time that I can actually make sense of the emotions, and that's when I can resonate with the emotions or with the feelings. So the next time I actually feel that way, I can identify it and be like, oh, I'm feeling anxious, or oh, I'm feeling in love, or oh, I'm feeling angry, or oh, I'm feeling left out, or oh, I'm feeling, because remember, our minds are constantly fleeting. So sometimes we'll feel a certain way, but because we can't identify it, we let it go and we move on. Or at least that's how it is for me. So yeah, I think that's one of the things that also needs to be noted about them. So whether the explanation is good or bad, if one resonates with them, they're definitely holding on to that. And it also helps because at any other point in life where they might feel that way again, they would be able to identify it and say, oh my gosh, yes. That's why they constantly speak to people, because they want to also know how other people feel about certain things and to see whether it resonates with how they feel or what they're thinking. So, yes. And I also wanted to mention that, the gift of the gab that they usually possess is actually their saving grace. Like, this is the holy grail for Geminis. I cannot imagine a Gemini that's not able to speak to people, because honestly that would just be the worst thing. How would they know how they're feeling? How would they be able to engage with other people if they just don't know how to make and keep conversation? These are the conversation starters, as I'd mentioned prior. So them being able to have the gift of the gab is definitely something that is a gift, and they should harness that, because they definitely do need moments where they need to be, reassured by people around them, to be like, you're actually not crazy. I've experienced this feeling before, and this is how it made me feel, this is how I dealt with it. Because understand, we all learn from each other, right? Nobody actually knows everything, so how else are we going to learn from each other if we don't engage, right? So please don't be saying things like, again, Geminis talk too much, because it's actually their saving grace. If they weren't talking, then we'd never know how they feel, and instead they would just be walking around having mini explosions every 10 seconds. And of course, we wouldn't want that. But yes, having a saving grace is definitely a good thing when it comes to processing how they feel about certain things. And also, I want to add that sometimes they don't have enough time to deal with their emotions, because there's constantly an influx of new. Yes, I'm hurt, but now I have to deal with my mom's not able to come and fetch me, so now I need to travel with the train or the bus or the taxi or whatever the case is. Oh my gosh, I just got to the mall and the store that I actually came here for is closed. They're constantly going through changes. That's also another thing I wanted to note about Gemini. They're constantly going through changes. So and so many people around me will be like, oh my gosh, GiGi, you're totally lying. And I'll be like, about what? I will literally go somewhere with every intention to go to the mall, right? I'll go to the mall and I want to go to a specific store. And I will find that there's either a sale going on, I will find that it's either closed, or I will find that the promotion that I actually was intending on going there for is no longer available. Or it is available, but I need to have a membership card. There's just always some sort of catch. There's always some sort of change. I don't know how else to explain this energy, but like I said, maybe we can have help from fellow Geminis who can actually explain this. And then when I have to explain it to other people around me, they will think that I'm lying. Of course, it's not always like this, but majority of the time, there's always just something happening. The other day, I went to the mall and I was actually looking for a keyboard and mouse, and I was looking for a wireless set. So I went down to grocery store, and well, not grocery store really, because they sell, mouse and a keyboard, but yeah, general store. And I found what I was looking for. So it was on promotion. So I was like, okay, that's great. So the price that it was before was $2.99, and then if you use their membership card, it would be $1.49. So I was like, oh my gosh, yes. I didn't have my membership card at the time, so I was like, oh man, I'll just find anybody in the queue who has it. So there were a couple of gentlemen in front of me, and they were so sweet to me. They greeted me, so I was like, oh hey, what's up? Being my normal humble self, saying hello to everyone. So I was like, oh hi, how are you? Good. Okay, great. So as soon as we got to the till, I was like, oh, I actually don't have, the gift card, the membership card, actually, my bad, not the gift card, the membership card. I was like, oh, don't you have the membership card? They're like, yeah, sure, we'll use mine. Okay, and get to the till. Okay, so they swipe my goods through the thingy. They scan, excuse me, not swipe, scan the mouse and the keyboard set, and the price is $1.99. And I'm like, no sis. I'm like, okay, maybe they need to use the membership card. Okay, so they swipe the membership card and it's still $1.99. I'm like, no sis, maybe you need to go check, because I know that this keyboard is on promotion for $1.49 and I chose it for that reason. So we had to get the manager involved. It was just such a big thing. But that's exactly the type of energy that I'm talking about. And by the time I was relaying the message to my mom, she was just like, really? That all happened when you went to the store? It couldn't have just been like just a normal day of you going to a normal store and you just getting your set and coming back home without it being a story. That is just Gemini energy. Whether you like it or not, that's just Gemini energy. So yes, they constantly have an influx of information coming through. And if you really think that they talk too much, can you imagine what's going on in their head? If only their mouths were as fast as their minds. Gemini, the symbol, being the twins, and again, this doesn't mean that they're two-faced, even though they are literally physically, but rather it means that they have duality about them, which means, that they could be feminine and they have feminine and masculine energies, and of course so does everyone else, but I think it's more prominent in Gemini. They are able to be the most feminine for the ladies. They can be the most feminine, but also have like qualities about them that make them masculine. Like maybe they're able to, change a tire. They're able to, fix a clogged pipe or drain. They're able to, do things that you wouldn't really consider feminine. I don't want to obviously say a whole lot of the things that are in my mind before people are like, oh my gosh, why are you saying that? No, guys, like I'm literally just trying to explain the energy of what it is that I'm talking about. And if you guys have any other suggestions of any type of masculine energies, then you can help a girl out by commenting down below. But yes, wherever Gemini energy is, you'll definitely have this duality. You'll have both of these energies playing out. So you're able to be masculine when you need to be. You're able to be feminine when you need to be. Think of a damsel and how feminine she is. And then imagine that same damsel, fixing a clogged pipe. That's what I'm talking about. So yes, they can be this way. Maybe in the way that they dress, they could be feminine, and then they could be masculine in the way that they do things or the way that they think. So it always just depends. I think their duality also allows them to be on top of things, because these are the people that are extremely good at multitasking. If they're an artist, they probably compose or produce their own beats. They probably write their own songs. They probably sing and rap, probably promote their own music. They run the business side of things. They manage themselves and their books. And, this is just typical Gemini energy. They believe that there's nothing that they can't do. And this is a perfect description of Kanye West. We all know who Kanye West is, and yeah, he believes that there's nothing he can't do, and he has proven that to a lot of us. I mean, look what he did with Donda and at his listening party. Let's just leave it at that. But I can appreciate Gemini's ability to be brutally honest, because sometimes it's just really difficult. There's just too much energy to be worried about what else to say besides the truth. I think there's also a part of them that tends to lie. And I think they tend to lie because I think it just depends who you are. Because sometimes a Gemini will lie to you because they feel like, okay, if I tell this one the truth, I'm going to have to explain why I'm trying to do this, or I'm going to have to explain myself. So instead of, being rude and ignoring you, they would rather just lie to you because they feel like you're being nosy. There's no reason for you to know that, or, just respect their boundaries and then keep it moving. So if they are doing something, they would say, I'm not doing anything, and, we've all been victim to this. We all lie. Come on now. Especially now that lying is like considered the new normal. So let's not even go there. Let me debunk some myths and facts about the Gemini energy. So number one, their personalities have personalities and they are moody. This is definitely fact and a myth. Geminis are multifaceted and can relate to just about anything or anyone. And I think that they are moody because sometimes they need space from their brains. And of course, this is impossible, but it also may be considered, suicidal. So they generally just like to keep to themselves without having to explain why they are keeping to themselves, Number two, they are honest for the moment. Facts, because they may have come up with a better explanation by the time they have concluded their opinion. This is true. Number three, Geminis enjoy gossiping. This is a myth. we actually like to call it information recons that we share with everyone, right? Number 4, Geminis are friends with everybody. This is definitely facts. I don't even want to think about my friend list. But anyway, moving on to number 5, Geminis are fake. This is definitely a myth. Please do one better. Geminis are just multifaceted and extremely versatile and adaptable. Just think about it. They are adapters. They adapt to the mood. They adapt to the vibe. They adapt, to the environment. And if you can't understand and respect that, then that's definitely on you. Number 6, Geminis talk too much. Yes. But also remember that their brains run at 100 kilometers a minute. So there's so many ideas, there's so many thoughts, so many topics to learn and discuss. It honestly just is an insatiable thirst for knowledge. That's all, and curiosity. That's all it is. Number 7, Geminis also love attention. This is facts, but then again, who doesn't love attention these days? I mean, you can make money off of attention these days, so let's not even lie. But also I think it's a myth, because most Geminis have, a problem being consistent. So they might even have issues with their self-worth and their self-esteem. So they don't really consider garnering attention just through conversation. It's more about a stimulating exchange for them. Number 8, Geminis are mirrors. This is definitely facts. Like I said before, they tend to match energy. So whatever it is that they feel, that's kind of what you will get back. As I mentioned prior, a disclaimer that not every single Gemini will have these characteristics. So please, be open-minded. As I always say, aspects do play a huge role in how these energies will play out. I also wanted to mention, though, that I think what people fail to realize is that Geminis actually care very deeply, and what genuinely frustrates people around them is how we are just really, we ourselves, are uncomfortable with feelings, and we don't even, we can't even distinguish at which point we should be hugging you, at which point we should be telling you I love you, at which point we should be comforting you, at which point should we say this or that. It's just always confusing. So Geminis definitely do need people who are affectionate or know how to say the right things at the right time, because then they can learn from them. Of course, like I said, not every Gemini is going to have these qualities, but I just wanted to end off by saying, air signs, you are amazing. And you make us think out of the box. I mean, what box, right? And you give us different perspectives. You also encourage the rest of the zodiacs to live in the moment, and we appreciate you for that. I hope I was able to break down Gemini energy all the way. The next video will be about Libra energy. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments down below where Gemini energy shows up for you and what I may have left out, and your thoughts about Geminis. Show me some love and subscribe to my channel. Again, your time spent is much appreciated. Till next time, you know what to do, so keep doing what you do. Peace, love, and most of all, light. I'm out.